Hello and welcome. This is part 2 of our S3 Access Point. And in this video, we are going to understand S3 Access Point using hands-on lab. Part 1 was all about theory. We understood what is S3 Access Point, use cases and everything. If you don't know anything about S3 Access Point, please go to previous video, complete part 1 and then come back. Here we are going to start live action. So let's start. We have divided this whole lab process into the 6 steps. We are going to set up this lab according to this particular picture. So let's start from the step number 1, and at the end, when we will finish step number 6, you will get complete practical understanding of S3 Access Point. So here we are going to start with S3 bucket. Here we are going to create one bucket, and inside this bucket we are going to create 2 folders. We will give them name app1 and app2. If you look at this picture, we have same process here as well. So right now going to my AWS console. Right now I am inside S3. I don't have any bucket. So let me click on create buckets. Creating everything in India. Okay. So I am giving name app bucket. Create bucket. Name is already exists. So we can use any name. Okay. Our bucket name will be app bucket 03. Now inside this bucket we need to create 2 folders. So going inside this bucket and creating 2 folders, app1 and app2. Done. Let's go to this, and here I am going to just going to add tag that this part is now done. Now we are going to the step number 2. Now step number 2 is the most interesting part, and you need to understand why we are doing this. In step number 2, we are delegating access control to access point. You can delegate access control to the bucket's access point, allow full access to all the access points that owned by the bucket owner account. All access to bucket is controlled by policy added to this access point. Now this is the most important part. Let me explain you this. Suppose if you have any bucket, right now I have this app bucket 03. Now you tell me who will manage access control of this bucket. There is IAM policy, there is bucket policy and ACL. Now ACL we are not using this because it is kind of legacy solution. So whenever you have any bucket, access control of this bucket is actually managed by either IAM policy or bucket policy. Now bucket policy is the most important part. Now what we are doing in this particular lab? Here in this lab we are going to create access point. So our users like user 1 and user 2 will get access of this particular folders using access point. So now what we want that our bucket access will be managed through the access point policy, not through the bucket policy. By default, bucket policy is used to manage all your permissions. So here we have to create one bucket policy and we have to delegate this permission on the bucket policy. So now onwards, all the access of this bucket will be managed through the access point created through this particular account. Once you dedicate this, then your bucket policy will be like disabled, and then bucket access will be managed through the access list only. Okay. So this is the main use case. So what I am doing, I am going to the bucket. Here I have to go to the permission and I am going to click on edit. Now here I have this policy. So we just need to add this into the bucket policy. We are saying to our bucket that now access point will manage the permission of this particular bucket. I am going to use Ctrl C here and pasting this. Now here I have to add bucket ARN, so I'm going to remove this. Here I have this bucket ARN, I'm going to paste it. Then again I have to add bucket ARN here as well. Yeah, just a mistake of slash. Now keep this in mind when you are going to edit this type of policy, because one mistake will not allow you to use this policy. And then I have to add account ID. So here I am going to copy this account ID and here I am going to paste this. Okay. So now bucket policy is not going to manage access of this bucket. Now onwards, access point will manage access of this bucket. Okay. So step number 2 is now completed. Step number 3, we want to give permission to some users. So in order to manage this, we have to create IAM user, and according to this picture, we are going to create user 1 and user 2. So let's go quickly to the IAM. I'm going to open IAM console into the another window. And here I am going to the user. I don't have any user. Let's create quickly user 1. Yes, I want to allow console access, and next, not giving any permission right now, create user. So user 1 created. Now return to the user list. Let me create user 2. Yes, I want to provide a console access. I want to create IAM user, and here I am going to create password, and now I have user 2 as well. Now when you create new user in AWS, both of these users don't have any permission. But we want to verify this, right? So what we are doing, we are going to log in through this user. Now I am already logged in using Google Chrome. So whenever you are going to log in with the IAM user, you have to open incognito mode. Okay. So I'm going to the incognito. Here I'm going to paste this URL. You will get this URL from the dashboard. Okay. And then it will ask you for the username and password. Now I want to log in as a user 1 and user 2 as well. In this case, I cannot use 2 incognito mode. So for user 2, I am going to open Microsoft Edge browser and I am going to provide same URL. Now here, going back to the Chrome incognito, user 1, and this is my user. Now I have multiple users, so please keep extra care and make sure that with which user I am actually performing the task. Here you will find out that I am using Google Chrome incognito mode for user 1, and you will also get this detail about the user 1. Now if I am going to log in as a user 1 and if I am going to the S3, okay, these users are like new and they don't have any access. Okay, so if I will try to open bucket, it will not allow me to show any access points or anything. In fact, when you create new user, this user don't have any permission. Now same we have for user 2 as well. So I'm going to log in as a user 2, but there is no difference here for the user 2. We are going to get same kind of permission. Here if you go to the bucket, you will not find out this bucket. If you will go click on access point, you will not get it, right? So this is that. Now I am going back to my normal CloudFolks HUB account. Here I am going to tick mark this as well, that this task is also done. Now let's go back to the step number 4. In step number 4, we are going to create access point for user 1 and user 2, and here we are going to give name. First of all, I am going to create access point 1. Now we will create access point for user 1, and using this access point, we will give permission to user 1 that you will access folder app1 and you can put object inside app1. Okay, how we are going to do this? Let's understand this step by step. First of all, I am going to my bucket. Okay, in the bucket, you will get this access point option. Here I am going to click on create access point, giving name access. Let's give a small name AP1. Okay, here I just using this access point 1. Here instead of this, I am using name AP1. I want this access point will be accessible over the internet. And now here we have to define policy. Now this is the most important part. Let me open this policy. Okay. See, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it over here, because here we can use a JSON editor, so we have comfort level. Now look at this. We want that this access point will be accessible by user 1. By user 1. That's why when we are creating this policy for AP1, right, here we are mentioning user 1 ARN. Okay, so means this particular AP1 will be accessible by user 1 only. Okay, so how I can do this? I can go to the dashboard, can go to the user, and here I am going to copy ARN. Let's paste it here, that this access point can be accessible by only user 1. Means user 1 can use this access point, other user cannot. Then we have to specify that this ARN, this access point, can allow you to store data inside app1 folder. So it will allow you to put object inside app1. Okay, so how we can do this? So here in the action put object, what we are doing, we have to go to the copy bucket ARN. See, this is bucket ARN. Okay, here I am going to copy this. See, then we have to write object, and then which folder? It is app1. Okay, look at this app1 folder we have. So we are giving put permission on this. To whom? User 1. Right? So this is done. Let's Control C and paste it. Done, and create access point. Now AP1 is done. Now I am going to verify this because our app1 is ready. Okay, I am going to verify this. What I can say that this point is ready. Okay, so let me go to user 1. Right here I am going to access this bucket. It is not actually visible here because I don't have permission. If I am going to the access point, again I am not accessing this. See, I am getting this message, insufficient permission to list access point. It means it is not working. It means there is an issue. So still we can say that we have everything ready. If I am going to this, we have user 1, we have access point, we have app1, but this is not working right now. No need to worry. Let's do one thing, create access point and app for user 2 as well, and then we will verify. Okay, so don't worry, we will find out the solution. Okay, so let's create another access point. Right now not working. Okay, create access point. Here I am going to give AP2 internet, same policy we have. Okay, so let's go to this. See, here we just need to change ARN. So here we have to use user 2. Instead of AP1, we have AP2. And instead of app1, we have app2. Okay, so just making small changes, and Control C, Control V, and create access point. Thank God I didn't get any error, and app2 is also ready. What I can say? This is also done. Now let's verify that app2, like user 2 can able to access this or not. Now look at this. No. So we have everything is ready, but right now we are not able to, somehow user 1 and user 2 are not able to access this app1 and app2 folder because they don't have access to the access point. So the access point must be visible here, right? Access point must be visible, which is not actually happening. Why? So let's understand this. Sorry, I know that you want to watch full video, but full video is now not available on YouTube. If you want to watch full video, I want you to go to our website. When you will go to our website, you will find out our course 100 Days YouTube Challenge. I want you to enroll for this course by paying only 499 rupees for lifetime if you are from India. If you are from outside of India, you just need to pay $7 US. Once you will enroll to this course, you are going to get all full videos over there on our portal. You are also going to get certificate after completing the course, and we have just uploaded 120 videos. We are going to upload another 120 videos as well. So there will be total 240 videos. I hope we are going to meet inside the class. Thank you very much.